Over the past couple months, I've spent $600 signing up for accounts, proving that I make my own products, and putting them up for sale on all the major selling platforms. And here's the kicker. I sold the same product to the same person using the same shipping method for the same dollar amount to show you guys exactly which one gives you the most bang for your buck. Because I have yet to see this kind of information shared in a YouTube video about marketing online. An exact dollar amount example of the fees attached to a real sale. First, I needed a sellout project. All of my woodworking plans are 100% free to download, make, and sell, available at who'sthevoss.com. How did I make this project? I'll show you some snippets while I talk about how to sell handmade goods online. Time and money seem to be the biggest factors in selling your items. How much additional time do you want to spend marketing, updating listings, and diving into selling metrics? There is no online resource that will give you 100% of what the customer paid, even if you build your own website. I've got one of those too. I'm on a yearly payment plan for the server space, plus since I don't own the payment services, PayPal and Stripe hold their hands out before transferring money into my account. While many alternatives offer free plans or free listing options, all will have a transaction fee or subscription cost. Consider whether you prefer the broad reach of a marketplace like Amazon or the more targeted audience like Etsy. Do not limit yourself to only the websites that you've heard of. If they didn't have customers, those other sites wouldn't exist. Something else covered in this video is e-commerce functionality. Consider whether you need a fully fledged e-commerce platform, a website builder with e-commerce features, or simply a marketplace to list items. Being computer savvy isn't necessary as long as you have a general understanding of how to navigate the internet and upload photos. That's the spirit? Yeah, what's in there? Pigs are like cats. I know of only one way to send this pig to slaughter for $100 and get my $100 back in full, and that is through word of mouth marketing, spreading the word of your handmade items to family and friends while leveraging social media to showcase your creations using high quality visuals and engaging content. Once people realize that you can make things, it might lead to additional sales. You can also sell your creations at a craft show by purchasing space at local events. Usually you rent a spot as a per day, per weekend, or per event for a flat rate. Then you take home whatever profits you make for selling your products. That needs to be its own video because it's a little more intuitive, but you get the idea. I have a free follow-along printable that includes all the information we're discussing here today. It's got the name of the place we're selling it at, monthly fee, one-time fee, item cost, sales tax, shipping, transaction fees, and payment processing fees. They are different. Buyer, how much they had paid, and the seller, how much I got paid out, and the total difference between them. Now, for our $100 pig, I was paid $100 because friends and family aren't telling the IRS about it, and I'm not telling the IRS. At the craft show, it is the same principle. If you wanted to offer a plastic payment method, we'll touch on them in this video. It might be helpful for people who don't carry cash, ran out of cash, push for cash, but if they need to use plastic, I guess they're going to be using plastic. Next up is good old FBMP, Facebook Marketplace. Is it available? Wait for the reply. Wait for the reply. And I'm gone. And where'd I go? Never see you again. Facebook Marketplace is great for those selling larger items, like all of my free planter boxes, that are difficult to ship. However, you might find it hard to sell smaller items because usually people are browsing the marketplace for used bargains. It's not really a shop for handmade gifts platform. Facebook Marketplace can reach a vast number of local buyers. They even have shipping options if you wish to widen your selling area. A built-in messenger allows for quick and easy communication with buyers without publicly listing your personal phone number. Sellers don't pay any listing fees, although boosted ads and shipping fees may apply. Local pickup can involve face-to-face meetings. If they are coming here to pick up, the planter boxes, they are all sitting outside. That has their name on them. They just drop money into the mailbox. Criminals aren't planting flowers. I've told you that before. I've never had a problem with it. If I was going to meet up with somebody like in a neighboring town, it can be dangerous. It can be time-consuming. Most of all, it's aggravating because 45% of them flake out and don't show up. So It's Facebook Marketplace. Facebook Marketplace ended the option for sellers to purchase and generate prepaid shipping labels back in 2025. It might be because they are cooking up a deal with eBay. However, you can still, as a seller, sell items as a shippable product. You just have to make your own shipping label and ship it yourself. Now, there are really two options within this platform, pickup and shipping. For pickup, I handed them the pig. They handed me $100. We high-fived and went on our merry way. But after listing the item and shipping the product, things got a little hairy. First, I listed the item for $100. Facebook collected $9.08 in sales tax, and shipping cost $15.48. Now, because I had to just guess how much it was going to be to ship, and I hadn't shipped one of these yet, I guessed $13. So I actually lost $2.48 there because it cost $15.48 to ship the product. Facebook collects a 10% transaction fee, which is on top of everything. It's the item price, sales tax, and the shipping fee. So it's on top of everything. So $11.91. There's also a payment processing fee to get it moved over to the bank, just $3.22. That is from Facebook, not my local bank. Buyer paid $119.08, a little higher than if he would have just high-fived me. And the payout for me was $94.87, which means I had lost $5.13, which is really $3.13 because of that $2 shipping charge. I try to keep shipping and sales tax out of these things because really the buyer is going to pay for those, not you. Etsy is an online marketplace where sellers can create shops to sell handmade, vintage, and unique items. It connects buyers with independent artisans and small businesses, offering a platform for creative entrepreneurs to thrive. You set up your shop, they shop it, and make a purchase. Etsy provides access to a huge audience of potential customers, 95.5 million active buyers in 2024. Have you ever been on Pinterest and wanted to click on something that you thought was cool and it shot you over to Etsy? However, Etsy is a popular platform, leading to fierce competition among sellers, making it a challenge to stand out. The influx of mass-produced items can dilute the uniqueness of handmade and vintage goods on Etsy, affecting the platform's identity. Sellers have limited control over branding opportunities. Branding is the process of creating a unique identity and perception for a company, product, or service in the mind of a customer. Apple is known for its minimalist design, McDonald's is known for using bright colors, Nike is known for being more on the athletic performance, that sort of stuff. Etsy has strict policies, and sellers may face unexpected suspensions if they violate the terms of service. I had a product that had sold 10 at one time, and Etsy had withheld the funds to make sure that I could perform and have a timely delivery to the customer. Which wasn't really an issue, but if you had relied on those funds to buy materials to make the project, that could become an issue. Etsy charges a $29 upfront fee. This is to open your storefront. It is not a monthly charge. You can pay an additional $10 per month for a few extra seller perks, mainly just tools within the app, but it's not necessary. So for my $100 pig, they collected $9.25 in sales tax. Shipping was $8.85. You do get a 13% discount if you use Etsy's prepaid shipping labels. Although it's not the method I like to ship in, I had to get just a regular box. It still worked out pretty well. 6.5% for a transaction fee that's going into Etsy's pocket. $7.08, actually the lowest on the list. Processing fee, which is for the payment, that's 3% plus 25 cents. You'll see this quite often, $3.79 on there. Buyer paid $118.10. Again, the lowest of all, minus the face-to-face. Seller payout was $9.98. $2.02 is all it cost me to sell the pig. That's not too bad. Amazon Handmade is a specialized marketplace within Amazon dedicated to artists and crafters who sell their handcrafted items. It allows artisans to showcase their unique creations to a wide audience of Amazon customers. To be eligible, products must be designed and produced by the artisan themselves or by a small group of family members/employees. And it must be made using hand tools or light machinery, but nothing mass-produced. Amazon's vast audience can expose your handmade goods to a wider range of potential buyers. My experience with Amazon Handmade was not great. It's the platform that I had to spend the most time dealing with, and mainly it was because stuff kept bouncing back to me as not accepted. Then I have to resubmit and wait, and resubmit and wait. And it's really just to protect the customer. So the customer, when they go on there, they know, hey, it is made from a small town local guy like you and I. It's not a mass-produced product that snuck in there. You have to upload your ID. You have to do a video call. I had to show them my shop. I had to show them specific tools and materials that I use to make the products. It was a whole thing. And because I had registered as a business, I also had to obtain a GTIN, which pretty much means that it's for my brand. So everything has to be stamped with your brand, and it was just a lot. You also don't have product IDs, so you have to register and try to file for those. It was a huge application process. Once you're through the application process, though, things went pretty breezy. You could upload your product. They do have a wonderful AI system. You just click on it, it'll fill in everything about it, so you have less time typing in things. That part was okay, but the beginning, not great. Amazon has two plans, individual and professional. Individual, you pay 99 cents per item sold plus a 15% transaction fee. Professional account, you pay a $39 monthly fee, which can be waived once your handmade seller account is approved. So then you're also charged a 15% per item fee, but you get all the professional online tools for free. So choose accordingly based off the price of your items. For me, I had that $39 charge the first month. I was not charged the second month because I got my handmade seller account approved. And it did take 3 weeks. It was pushing to where I was going to have to pay that again without having sold anything on the platform. My $100 pig, $9.53 sales tax, $15.48 for shipping. Those are going to be the same number all the way down, which is great. Transaction fee of 15% is the highest of all of them, $18.75. Transaction fee, because the people that take the payment, bring it back to me, also get money, $3.76 to them. Pig sold for $125.01, pretty high. Seller payout, $77.49 for a total loss of $22.51, the largest on this paper. Now, Amazon does have a large audience, obviously. It's Amazon. However, you have to go to Amazon Handmade to find these non-commercialized products. So it is kind of hidden in a little tiny closet on Amazon. Not knocking them in any way. Etsy isn't paying for this video. Also, if you're choosing to have Amazon fulfill your orders, that's an option. You could pack these up, ship them to them. You're going to pay a storage fee. Just depends on really the time of year and space that they have allotted for you. But once that item sells, they will ship it. Again, might be a faster shipping, could lead to more sales. Now you have the cost of storage fees, but it's an option. Bonanza is an online marketplace similar to familiar names like eBay and Etsy. Bonanza claims that they are a platform built for entrepreneurs by entrepreneurs. The idea is to make selling as easy as possible and make the seller the star of the platform itself. This leads to high levels of satisfaction from sellers and a great shopping experience for customers. There is a one-time fee of $14.99, which is great news if you are just starting out with selling. And Bonanza is not a pay-per-item listed marketplace. Instead, they impose a 25-cent transaction fee for every item sold on the platform and for the seller who does not have an active membership, which I think is $25 a month if billed annually. There are two options for how your store works on Bonanza. First, the booth option. Bonanza refers to your store as a booth. Bonanza provides the templates, and this option is limited but very easy to use. The other option is a web store, which acts as a department store within the mall. For our $100 pig, we got $9.53 in sales tax, $15.48 in shipping. Customer pays all of that. Now, very recently, in May of 2025, we just missed it, Bonanza had raised their final value fee, which is what they're calling a transaction fee, to 11%. So that had cost us $13.76. Processing payment fee of still 25 cents, because that's still on top, you know. Why wouldn't it be? Buyer paid $125.01, just like half of the others, making my payout $85.99 for a total loss of $14.01. I don't call it a loss. You still made a sale. It just maybe isn't the highest dollar amount you could have got. But you still made $85.99. So you made a sale. Don't think about the loss as much. Just know it exists, because some places charge you less. Poshmark is known for fashion, but offers a large range of selling categories, including fashion, apparel, beauty, home decor, pet items, and select electronics. They do offer a home decor section, however, it's not tailored to personally handcrafted items. That's more for sales of clothing, jewelry, that sort of stuff. GoImagine is a nonprofit online marketplace that sells handmade items and donates 100% of its profits to charity. It aims to be a platform like Etsy with a main focus on handmade goods for the good of humanity. Folksy is a large UK-based selling platform that I've heard a lot of good things about. While anyone can shop the website, only those from the UK can list and sell merchandise. This is what I think of that. Mercari is an online marketplace where individuals can buy and sell a wide variety of new and used items, primarily clothing, electronics, and other goods. Mercari is not as popular as other marketplaces. And again, it's really not set up for selling handmade goods so much as clothing, jewelry, and electronics. Those seem to thrive. Up to this point, I have been discussing marketplace-style websites. If you are wanting the more professional and permanent look of a dedicated website that you can put your company's information, the story, have a few clickable pages, let's take a look at those. BigCartel is free as long as you keep it under 5 items. Otherwise, there's a $15 plan to list 50 items, $50 option to list up to 500. That's a lot to manage. Since BigCartel does not have a payment system, you rely on third-party sites and fees may apply. My paper is in the house, so I'm just going to read it off the laptop and it's going to pop up over here. Using Stripe, my $100 pig plus shipping and handling sold for $125.01. Stripe charges a 2.9% plus 30-cent transaction fee minus the shipping. So my take-home after tax and shipping was $94.49. But Stripe does not collect sales tax. At least somehow I kept my account so it doesn't. So I just need to keep that back because when I get chopped at the knees coming in March when I file, I have to pay that to somebody. I don't know who really gets it. And you will get a tax form for Stripe. That's fun. PayPal is my other go-to third-party payment system. They have a few more securities. They charge $7.44 on my $100 pig sale. Minus shipping and taxes leaves me with $92.56. You'll see that you get a little bit more money using a third-party payment system attached to a website because you are one of the middlemen. You don't have to pay somebody else to have your item listed on the marketplace like you do on any of the sites we just talked about, Amazon, Etsy. They all want money because they brought the customer to you. But with your own account, nobody's doing that unless you do it. So you have to advertise. There's different ways you can buy these through Google. Any major search engine will sell you ad space where they'll put an ad for either your website, a product, a page, whatever you want it to be. Now, jumping back to BigCartel, you do not need to purchase a domain, even with their free option. You can use your store name .bigcartel.com as a subdomain for your store. And example, my website, www.whosthevoss.com, I have to pay $31 a year for that domain. And because I'm an idiot, I also bought whothevoss.com first for 3 years total, paid all up front. You know, saving money. So that's not a real website. Don't try to go there. And you can obtain your own domain at www.blablabla.com, probably taken, for between $10 and $50 depending on what provider you go through. For $399 per month, you can enjoy features like Google customer reviews, enhanced reporting, and how much did you just say? They offer a 15-day free trial and a cheaper $39 per month plan, which gives you unlimited listings and no transaction fees. However, you must link a third-party payment to that system like we had talked about previously. Knowing that building a website is the hardest part and where most people throw in the towel, Shopify offers 3 months for only $1. You set up a store, and Shopify takes care of the marketing, payments, and shipping. The cheapest plan is $5 per month. And this wouldn't be a well-rounded video without also including Squarespace. David at Make Something talks about them, Donut Media, they both have sponsorships from them. I didn't make an account for any of these people. It was a lot more work to just sell one pig, and I already know what my third-party selling options are. So check them out. They're going to offer the same type of features as Shopify, BigCommerce, BigCartel. It's all going to be just about the same. And I know you guys are typing in the comment section right now, but Aaron, what website builder did you use for your website? Because dang, that thing is nice. And I thank you for that. I actually went through the e-commerce platform Wix. Wix is better known for its drag and drop interface and is favored by individuals for its ease of use. Kind of ease of use. So if you're looking for an actual website builder, there are all kinds of them. And if you're not sure and that's not what you want, if you type in www.wix.com and it doesn't take you somewhere that's going to sell you products, that's a website builder. If you type in etsy.com, where do you go? To buy products. You're buying stuff on the Wix page, but it's not a cutting board. You know what I mean? And real quick, a few more honorable mentions. Instagram does have a selling platform. You have to have a pretty good following, and you have to update and list and show all your stuff all the time. I don't care to do any of that. Artfire was a good one. It ended in 2021, so she's gone. Depop is mainly clothing, accessories, and fashion items. If that's what you're selling, you could check that out. And Vinted does not allow handmade stuff. You can sell it as a no brand, but once they find out, they're going to take you down. And I'd like to take these last few moments to say thank you for watching this video up to this point. That is the best thing you can do as a viewer. It just tells YouTube, hey, this content's pretty good. It'll shove it in the face of some other people. Second, third best thing you could do, like and leave me a comment. I still comment to everybody who comments anything on my videos. If you like woodworking and you want to build some quirky, fun things, subscribe to the channel. And showing you guys a quick snippet of my editor, every minute of published footage takes anywhere from 30 to 60 minutes to script, set up, film, download, edit, and mash together to create what you have just watched and enjoyed. And why am I so sweaty? It's because it's high noon, it's 95 outside, and I cannot run any fans or my AC when I'm filming because it's too loud. So this is where I'm going to say sayonara. Thanks again. Come with me. See you guys later. Oh yeah.